Hi everyone, my name is Chandan and I welcome you all to this platform of utilitarian IAS Indian Polity की 2000 MCQ की सीरीज में मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूँ. This is going to be test number 67. As usual, we'll be taking 20 around, not 20 around question. Actually, in this set, we'll be taking only 17 questions. 3 questions in this set that had been given to me were from J and K, and that were old question, right? You already know that there has been change into the constitutional status of Jammu and Kashmir, and that's why 3 slides I have deleted just before the recording. So today's session that will be starting, right, it will have 3 less questions, that is 17 question. This slide you already are familiar with. I need not to explain the purpose of this slide. So today's question, rather than starting with 1, 3, 2, 1, we are starting this series with 1, 3, 2, 4. Special provision under part 11 of the, I hope you already know, Indian Polity you already would have completed so far, right, at least 3 or 4 times. That is my expectations, at least from the genuine student who are really working hard and preparing seriously for the UPSC. By now at least 3 to 4 times all of the subject, not only Indian Polity, all of the subject by now they would have completed. So if you have completed, you already would be aware part 11 of the Indian Constitution, what it deals with. It deals with the special provision with regard to certain states of the constitution are applicable to the states of. So there are around 10 states to which a special provision are applicable. Of these, 5 states have been given. We have to identify which of the following 5 states does enjoy the special status under part 11. So yes, Maharashtra does enjoy, Gujarat does enjoy, but Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, it does have a significant amount of tribal population, but then it has scheduled area, 5th schedule, you can understand. In the 5th schedule, these states are covered, but when it comes to part 11, surprisingly, these states, that is Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, are not covered under part 11. Andhra Pradesh is covered. So 1 to 5 from my assessment should be answer, and hence C should be the answer. Yes, C is the answer. Next, which one of the following northeastern state does not have a mention into Article 371 of the Indian Constitution? So 371 again is part of part 11 of itself, right? So 371, Nagaland is mentioned, Assam is mentioned, Mizoram is mentioned, Meghalaya is not mentioned into Article 371. Meghalaya and Tripura, right? These are 2 states that are not mentioned into these Article 371. What Article 371 deals with, I hope you already would be knowing. I need not to explain. Which of the following arguments strengthen the case of participatory democracy? And most of the question that you will notice from 1, 3, 2, 6 onwards will concentrate on the PRIs, Panchayat Raj Institution, 73rd Constitutional Amendment and 74th Constitutional Amendment as well. So going onwards, next 14 or 15 questions that we will be discussing will focus on Panchayat Raj Institution and urban local bodies. Which of the following arguments strengthen the case of participatory democracy? Okay, since the state decision affects the public at large, public should be consulted into governance of the country. Yes, that is an argument that strengthens the case for that is what the concept of participatory democracy is. Participatory decision making helps in reducing the social conflict and generate trust and harmony between the agents. That's correct. When you have in decision making, when you have inclusion of every social group, be it on religious line, be it on caste line, be it on gender line, right, what will happen when you have every group or every member being included into decision making? They will have that decision will enjoy trust, that decision will have harmony, because it has been, every member of that society has been consulted in that particular decision, right? So that both the statement happens to be correct, directive statement is correct, so C is going to be the right answer. Which of the following committees does have not been dealt into the Panchayati Raj reform into the India? K. Sanathanan committee that has dealt with the Panchayati Raj reforms. V.R. Rao, yes. G.R. Raj Gopal committee. Actually, in this question, the designer has gone into much length. That kind of question you should not expect into the UPSC. This kind of question can be asked into the State Public Service Commission, but these kind of purely factual question, right, may not be asked into the UPSC, but yet we should have an idea, some amount of idea, right? We cannot remain completely immune, right? So yes, this D, the fourth one, D Parak committee, that has not, it has dealt with the banking reforms, right? D Parak itself was related to economic field, so it has dealt with this D Parak committee that was established in 1974. It has dealt with the banking reform but not with the panchayat. So D is going to be the right answer. Next question, based on 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, right, two statement has been given and we have to tell the correct statement. Panchayati Raj was brought under purview of justiciable part of the constitution. So that's correct. Now this justiciability you should not compare with the justiciability of the part 3 of Indian Constitution. This simply means that, okay, whether the constitutional status was given or not. So constitutional status from the 73rd Constitutional Amendment was given to the Panchayati Raj institutions. ठीक है, states no longer can deny that we will not have Panchayati Raj institutions in our states, right? It is mandatory on them that they needs to have Panchayati Raj. It's just about matter of layers. As per 73rd Constitutional Amendment, every state needs to have those 3 layers, 3 tiers of the the local self-government. Some states which does have population below this 20 lakhs, right, they have been given some kind of relaxation that they need not to have that intermediary level panchayat, right? So that is the only relaxation. Otherwise for every states it is justiciable. Okay, so first statement happens to be neither the formation of panchayat nor holding of election at regular interval depend on the will of the state, but that is a mandatory. So that's correct, right? Out of 29 items, 29 there are certain things that has been left for the states will decide, right? But there are certain mandatory provision, right? Those states will not be deciding. That is part of 73rd Constitutional Amendment. State is bound to adhere to those provision. So holding the regular elections, right, at regular interval, right, that is part of that mandatory provision. So both the statement happens to be correct and hence C is going to be the right answer. Exempted states originally from 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. So it is asking originally, right, not the current status. Okay? So Jammu and Kashmir, yes, it is exempted. Nagaland, yes, exempted. Okay? And what are the other states? Then you have, see, in the northeastern state you have these 3 states Namami, right? Nagaland, थोड़ा सा आप याद रख सकते हो, जो एज पे जो म्यांमार के साथ बॉर्डर शेयर करते हैं, व्हाट आर दो 3 स्टेट्स? आंध्र प्रदेश, अरुणाचल प्रदेश को यू फॉरगेट. नागालैंड वेयर यू हैव दिस 73rd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट के प्रोविजन से जिनको एग्जम्पशन दी गई है, नागालैंड. देन यू हैव सेकेंड स्टेट इज मणिपुर and then you have Mizoram. So Nagaland and Mizoram has been completely exempted, but when it comes to Manipur, that is the middle state, right, some parts has been given exemption, not completely, not all of the states. Okay? Then you do have, so Assam does not enjoy exemption and Sikkim also does not enjoy exemption. Okay? So here the answer would be 1 and 2 only. But if I tell you which are all the state which has been given exemption, so you have parts of West Bengal. ठीक है, दार्जिलिंग में exemption दी गई है, not completely West Bengal but दार्जिलिंग में दी गई है, and similarly part of Manipur also has been given exemption. ठीक है, so these are the areas. गोरखा वाला जो एरिया है दार्जिलिंग में, उनको एग्जम्पशन दी गई है इन द वेस्ट बंगाल. ठीक है, सो एज पर दिस क्वेश्चन सी इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर. द ग्राम सभा में एक्सरसाइज such powers and perform such function at the village level as the legislature of the Gram Sabha की जो powers and functions होंगी that will be determined by the state legislature, and this is mentioned into 73rd Constitutional Amendment that every state, ठीक है, has been given this independence. ठीक है, ये mandatory provision नहीं है. This power has been given to the state legislature that hey state, you do have this autonomy in this particular area, whereby what will be the powers of the Gram Sabha. I hope what is this Gram Sabha and what is this Panchayat, what is this block, all these things you would be knowing, right? So this autonomy has been given to the state legislature. So B is going to be the right answer. Okay, a panchayat continues for 5 years from the date appointed for its. ठीक है, so जिस डेट को ये पहले मीटिंग करते हैं ना, उस डेट से 5 साल जो है उसकी काउंटिंग होती है। सो डी इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर। ओके, कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स, ठीक है, 2 स्टेटमेंट हैज बीन गिवन एंड वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट। द ग्राम सभा keeps the track of work of gram panchayat and prevents misuse of the money, ठीक है। सो सोशल कमिटीज वगैरह सोशल लेवल पे ग्राम सभा में बनाई जाती है एंड दैट डज कीप ऑडिटिंग, ठीक है। ग्राम सभा की मीटिंग्स वगैरह हो सकती हैं और ऑडिटिंग का जो फंक्शन है वो ग्राम सभा जो है वो करती रह सकती है, ठीक है। सो दैट इज, और इस तरह से मिसयूज ऑफ मनी या मिस अप्रोप्रिएशन ऑफ मनी या करप्शन वगैरह, सपोज इंदिरा आवास योजनाज और मेनी प्रोग्राम्स और स्कीम्स दैट द गवर्नमेंट रन्स, राइट। सो ग्राम सभा के लेवल पे क्या हो सकता है, कैसे ऑडिट को कैसे ऑडिट हो सकता है, कैसे करप्शन को रोका जा सकता है। तो सपोज अगर उस गांव का सरपंच बैठता है और ही अनाउंसेस कि नो 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 इन दिस विलेज वी हैव गिवन लाइक 50 लाख रुपीज, 2 लाख ईच, 25 फैमिलीज वी हैव डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड 50 लाख। सो ग्राम सभा लेवल पे जब बैठेंगे सो ही विल हैव टू शो कि कौन से 25 फैमिलीज जो बेनिफिशियरी रही है। सो इफ देयर हैज बीन एनी काइंड ऑफ डिस्क्रिपेंसी, ठीक है, तो लोग वहां जो मीटिंग में बैठे हैं वो बोल सकते हैं कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, यू हैव डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड दिस money only to the 20 people, 5 people have not, the name that is listed in this the name that figures into this list, ठीक है, उन लोगों को पैसा नहीं मिला। So this is how misappropriation of the money can be prevented, but then ये misappropriation तभी रोका जा सकता है जब ग्राम सभा जो है वो फुल लेंथ में या फुल कैपेसिटी में बैठे। ये नहीं कि 2-4 लोग जो इलीट है वो मीटिंग करके और फिर डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर को रिपोर्ट सबमिट कर देते हैं कि भाई, बट देन वी आर गोइंग बियॉन्ड दिस रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन। सो फर्स्ट statement is correct. The Gram Sabha can be assigned responsibility for the identification of the person as beneficiary. So this is what we were discussing right now. So this statement also happens to be correct. So both the statement happens to be correct and hence C is going to be the right answer. Which of the following state had fixed minimum educational qualification for those contesting पंचायत election? तो इस पे controversy हुई थी, right? You had initially राजस्थान and then recently हरियाणा ने भी educational qualification। और कंट्रोवर्सी किस चीज के लिए हुई थी कि कंट्रोवर्सी इसलिए हुई थी कि मोस्टली पंचायत लेवल पे कौन इलेक्शन कॉन्टेस्ट करते हैं, दोज एज ओल्ड, है ना, गांव में रहने वाले मोस्टली लोग, एंड दे मे नॉट हैव दैट क्वालिफिकेशन। अगर 10th का भी क्वालिफिकेशन आप मेट्रिकुलेशन लेवल का मांगते हो, सो फ्यू पीपल मे नॉट हैव, है ना, एंड दैट गोज अगेंस्ट प्रिंसिपल ऑफ राइट टू इक्वालिटी। अगर आप या फिर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन आप कर रहे हो, व्हाई कैन नॉट हैव सिमिलर, व्हाई कैन नॉट यू हैव सिमिलर रूल्स फॉर दोज कंटेस्टिंग इलेक्शन ऑफ MLAs, why you cannot have similar rules for those contesting election of MPs? But then anyway, that is not the discussion, that is not the requirement of this question, ठीक है। So 1 and 3 is going to be the right answer, that is A. Which of the following are the provision made under the Panchayat extension to the Scheduled Area Act पेसा 1996, ठीक है। सो पेसा को क्यों लाया गया था? बिकॉज देयर आर सर्टन स्टेट्स और पॉकेट इनटू द स्टेट्स वेयर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ 73rd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट कैन नॉट बी अप्लाइड इन टोटो, ठीक है। आई होप द डिक्शनरी मीनिंग ऑफ इन टोटो यू वुड बी नोइंग, ठीक है। सो पेसा लाया गया उसके लिए, ठीक है, टू टैकल टू द स्पेशल रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द इंडिजिनस ट्राइब्स, ठीक है। सो उनके प्रोविजंस यहाँ दिए गए हैं एंड वी हैव टू टेल वेदर दोज प्रोविजंस आर करेक्ट और नॉट। अ स्टेट लेजिस्लेशन ऑन पंचायत दैट मे बी मेड शैल बी इन कॉनसेंस विद द कस्टमरी लॉ, social and religious practices and traditional management practices of community resources. So yes, that's correct, that is a provision of the PESA. Gram Sabha shall approve the plans and programs for the socio-economic development before they are taken up for the implementation at the panchayat and the village level. So that's correct. यहाँ ग्राम सभा को जो है again considering the special requirement or the special rights of the indigenous people, ग्राम सभा को ज़्यादा इम्पार किया गया है as compared to those into the 73rd constitutional. The ग्राम सभा or the panchayat at the appropriate level shall be consulted before making any acquisition of the land into the scheduled area for the developmental project. So that is also correct, that is also a right provision of the PESA. So all the 3 statement happens to be correct and hence A is going to be the right answer. Okay, all the members of the municipality shall be elected directly by the people of municipal area. However, the state legislature may provide for the representation of which of the following person into the municipality. ठीक है, so 74th constitutional amendment basically urban local bodies के बारे में ये this question is asking कि okay, you have elected certain elected member, but then there are members who can sit into the meetings. ठीक है, so such provision has been made for your Lok Sabha MP who is belonging from that area, or Rajya Sabha में member belonging to that area. ठीक है, few people can also sit without, and these people will be sitting into the meetings of these municipalities, right, without voting rights. Let us understand the difference. ठीक है, so this question is actually asking कि who are those group of people or list of. So can district magistrate or although district magistrate and district collector you might find कि हाँ ये लोग तो बैठते हैं ना इनके मीटिंग में, but let me tell you 74th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट में इसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं की गई. ऑल्दो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर जो है, ठीक है, जो बड़ी बड़ी सिटीज़ हैं टीयर 2 या टीयर 1 सिटीज़, वहाँ यू हैव 2 IAS बेसिकली. फर्स्ट who will be taking into this law and order and other things, ठीक है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट की पोजीशन. और जहाँ म्यूनसिपल कॉरपोरेशन है वहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक और IAS होंगे, एंड ही विल बी गिवन दिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर पोजीशन. ठीक है, सो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर्स जनरली आपने देखा होगा इन तरह की मीटिंग्स में बैठते हैं जहाँ अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज अपने, बट देन वो 74th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल का कोई प्रोविजन नहीं है. ठीक है, उनको ठीक है क्योंकि उनको ही चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव, उनको एग्जीक्यूट करना है, उनको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, तो ठीक है उनको पता होना चाहिए. सो फॉर सेक ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन उनको बिठाया जाता है. अदरवाइज 74th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट में जैसा कि मैंने बोला कोई प्रोविजन नहीं है. मेंबर्स ऑफ राज्यसभा एंड स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल फ्रॉम द कंसर्न मुझे, सो यस इनके लिए प्रोविजन है. दे कैन सिट इन टू दीज मीटिंग्स, ठीक है, विदाउट वोटिंग राइट. पर्सन हैविंग स्पेशल नॉलेज और एक्सपीरियंस इन टू द म्यूनसिपल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, सो यस ये लोग भी आपके बैठ सकते हैं विदाउट वोटिंग राइट. सो 2 and 3 इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर. सी इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर. ऑल द मेंबर्स ऑफ द म्यूनसिपैलिटी शैल बी इलेक्टेड डायरेक्टली बाय द पीपल ऑफ द म्यूनसिपल एरिया. However, okay, this is a repeated question, so this question we are not going to read. ठीक है, with reference to the authority of the lieutenant governor of the national capital territory, consider the following statement. NCT government needs to obtain formal concurrence on all issue of day-to-day governance. नहीं, day-to-day there are, although after the amendment that recently Parliament brought to in regards to the NCT of Delhi, when tussle was ongoing between Lieutenant Governor, where Lieutenant Governor has been called the government of NCT. ठीक है, yet there are many areas where this formal concurrence on day-to-day administration or day-to-day governance has not to be taken. ठीक है, so this is a wrong statement. The LG is not bound by the aid and advice of Council of Minister. Again, it might seem after the amendment that no, he is not bound by, but actually constitutionally speaking he is still bound by the advice of. So this statement also goes wrong. In case of difference of opinion between LG and Council of Ministers, the LG should straight away refer the dispute to the President for a final decision. So that's correct. So only the third statement from my assessment is going to be correct, but that is a debatable thing. ठीक है, you may interpret these recent, in light of recent amendment, things differently, but my interpretation is going to be that the only third statement is going to, so this is going to be a subjective kind of question, and there will be always, out of 100 question that you will find into the preliminary examination, 4 or 5 question will always be there where the subjective, that will be subject to subjective interpretation. Next question, consider the following statement about legislature of the Delhi. Okay, the Lieutenant Governor shall from time to time summon the legislative assembly to meet at such time and place as he thinks fit. So that's correct. Only the president is authorized to prorogue or dissolve the Delhi assembly. So that's incorrect. You have Lieutenant Governor as well who can prorogue or dissolve the Delhi assembly. ठीक है, so this correct पूछा है. Only first statement A, only is going to be correct. Okay. Next question, consider the following statement. Okay, the answer has already been reflected, so we are not, let me allow me to discuss. See, low literacy is not a basis to decide कि वो area, schedule area announce होगा या नहीं. So this is incorrect. It has the how area will be decided as schedule area, that again has not been spelled out into the constitution. So कैसे decide करते हैं, ये actually established प्रैक्टिस है. ठीक है, सो करेक्ट आपको नन ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट इज गोइंग टू बी करेक्ट, ठीक है। सो 13, लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ द डे, the tribes advisory council has been constituted into the scheduled area based on the constitution, so that's correct, ठीक है। TAC tribes advisory council that happens to be a 30 member body, ठीक है, जिसमें से 26 members are directly elected, 4 has to be nominated by the governor of that state, ठीक है। It shall be the duty of tribes advisory council to advise on such matter pertaining to the welfare and advancement of scheduled tribe in the state as may be referred to them by the governor, so that's correct, ठीक है। That is the job of the TAC, correct statement, both the statement happens to be correct, so C is going to be the right answer, ठीक है। So with this we are wrapping up this session, we'll meet you into the next video tomorrow, so until then bye bye। मैडम वो आवाज़ ज़्यादा खतरनाक होती है देन पसीना, और वो डिस्ट्रैक्ट भी मुझे करता है।